So you need help on how to break through trying to feel like you have to do things perfectly? Well, in this video, I'm going to share a couple of tips with you so that you can actually start to add as much value as you're really looking to add. And I'll do that coming up. Hey there, I'm Billy Keels, and I'm back once again to share some tips and strategies with you that are going to help you to go out and make more money. They're going to help you to have more control over your free time, and ultimately they're going to help you to live with less stress. So if it's your first time here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and like the channel? And when you do that, could you go ahead and share that with at least 2 or 3 other people? Because by doing that, you are actually helping our community to grow with other like-minded people, which is always an amazing thing because we can grow and share together. So I want to thank you for that right up front for taking that action. But you're here because you want an answer to your question. And your question is really about how to deal with trying to be perfect. And let me just say from the very beginning that you've asked the question and you deserve the answer. And because of that, I'm going to share a story with you because I think the story is really important. And this is a story that comes from me because as a recovering perfectionist, yes, I did say it, I've started to realize that there are many lessons that you can learn from the previous experiences of other people. And so because of that, you'll see that, well, if you've always been used to getting the top grades in your school, whether that's an A+ or a 10 or wherever country you live in, and there was a defined set of criteria and there was a right and there was a wrong, well, as long as you're in academia, that can pretty much be okay. And if you're maybe going to be a lawyer, a doctor, you need to know certain things. But at the end of the day, in the real world, there's a thing called trial and error. And so one of the things that you can learn about, and one of the things that I'm going to share with you, is something as simple as launching a podcast. Because you know what, when you think about things and it takes time for you to actually do things that you have in your brain and you want to actually get to help and provide value to other people, well, if you think about it and you keep it in the lab forever, it never really gets out to the public. And if you can't get your idea out to the public, then you're basically stealing your own time. You're stealing the opportunity to have a positive impact on others. So the idea is get your ideas together as quickly as possible, as thoroughly as possible, and then get them out. Because no matter what you do, even when you think that they're perfect, they're not going to be perfect. But you have to be open to getting the feedback. And so this is one of the reasons why that it's important for you to have a close group of family, friends, people that you know, like, and trust that will give you feedback. And I don't mean positive feedback all the time and saying how great things are, but really feedback, like the things that are working really well, the things that they like about what it is that you've brought forward, or the things that could be improved, or the things that they, you know what, maybe they just don't like at all and shouldn't be a part of that. And keep in mind that all of these things are also focused on the end customer or the end client that you are looking to serve with your product or your service. Because the last thing you want is to spend 10 weeks creating something only to find out that, you know what, after 10 weeks, it still wasn't there. Maybe had you done 90% of that or 85% of that and done it in half the time, you would have gotten the feedback even sooner. So don't steal time from yourself. Make sure that you also don't overly procrastinate. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've already gone through that and I don't want the same thing to happen to you. And so let me get back to one of the other examples that I want to share with you. And that has to do with the very recently, or I guess depending on when you're watching this video, a podcast platform. And this is really talking to those people that are looking to understand more, and specifically those people that are corporate executives, high wage earners, 6-figure wage earners that love doing their job and at the same time want to have more control over their financial life and have been looking for a platform to be able to learn about that. And so rather than thinking about it for 5 years, let's say I did think about it probably longer than I should have, but the platform is finally out. And that platform is the Going Long podcast with Billy Keels. And this is one of the things that you'll see. It is a way for you to learn more about and from the experts and real assets that are based in the United States, no matter where you live, so that you can connect and learn from experts and at the same time learn from real Main Street investors. And the reason I'm telling you that is I know that even though the podcast has been launched, that it's not perfect. There's a lot more things that we're going to do. We're going to be able to get in touch with you sooner, faster. Maybe the image quality will be better or the microphone will be better. But you know what? At the end of the day, the podcast is there to provide you with value, and it's also for you, it gives you a way to provide me with your comments, with your reviews, so that we know what we can improve on to get even better in quality for you and from our guests in providing the best possible experience. For those of you that are in the IT world, you know about the MVPs, or the minimum value product, right? The MVP, minimum viable product, which is the thing that you really want to pay attention to, because at the end of the day, that's where you're going to start to get your first feedback from. And when you get that feedback, you continuously improve on it. I mean, I know that I have a really good friend, Sally, and I know I've talked about Sally in other of these videos. And Sally is one of the people for me that has provided really good feedback as we've launched the Going Long podcast with Billy Keels. And that feedback, the things that she really liked and the things that she thinks could be improved for others, is phenomenal. And I want to take that back and now working with the team so that we can provide you with the best possible podcast, right? So the whole thing about sharing these stories is you have something valuable inside of you in your heart that you want to get out and share with the public. So make sure you're not overly procrastinating. Make sure you're not stealing time from yourself, and that you're getting that product or service out to the people that will be able to benefit from it. So just wanted to share that story with you, and we're going to continue to work on getting the Going Long podcast even better. We're going to have better videos that you'll be able to see with our guests, and better audio quality, better conversations, and all that stuff. I mean, I've even gone back and watched every single episode to understand the things that I personally can do to improve on the guest experience on every single guest that we have on the podcast. So anyway, that's enough about me, but I just wanted to share that story with you because I know what it's like to fight perfectionism. And it's okay to get it 85% done and just continue to improve from there. So at the same time, I just want to remind you that you can also check out the Going Long podcast. Just need to go to any of your favorite podcast platforms and be able to go there and look for the Going Long podcast with Billy Keels, and you'll be able to pick it up there as well. For those of you that are interested in learning more about long distance investing, you can even be working a really demanding corporate job that you like and be able to make sure that you are having more control of your financial life. You can go to keeponcashflow.com/roadmap, and we'll be able to provide you with an ebook that's going to help you to get along your path and get there even faster and achieve your goals even sooner. So this is Billy Keels once again, and want to just let you know, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, that this has been fantastic, and I want you to go out and make it a great day. Hasta la próxima.